What a Catch is inviting people to come on a fishing trip with me. That's what I do. I'm a professional fisher. I fish around the world. I chase big game fish. It could be an Atlantic salmon, taimen. It could be a big sailfish. You never know from week to week. So I want people to travel along with me and experience the culture and the food. And I go off to these remote places, and you get the feeling that no one else has ever walked where you're walking. And you get to fish in pristine wilderness. What a catch. I heard a story that some of the orders and phone numbers were written on the wall and then they got painted over.
They did. Well, how would you like to come back from a fishing trip and find your whole shop missing? Everything is gone. It's been moved about 50 yards away and set up again because they wanted that space to expand part of their... Because I used to rent space from a place.
By that big smokestack.
Yeah, well, that's how we were recognized, by the smokestack. If that wasn't there, nobody would find me. It is a lucky man who can fashion his ideas with his hands and create.
After all, one does not simply buy a Bogdan. You represent a part of angling history. And although I never had the same type of fishing you have, and deservedly had, the streams along the Great Lakes could provide to be superb for those of us who could probably never afford Newfoundland,
Alaska, and so on. But then true adventures can happen in the most humble farm brook, and happiness is often found in the memories of people, not the pounds of the fish. Again, thank you, Stan. You'll never know how much I appreciate yours adding my name to your list. By then, I think, but then I know that I think you do. John Beth. Needless to say, he got his reel. Yeah. 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 When the kids were small, I'd take them down to the ocean and leave them there.
Oh, geez, Stephen, gosh.
And then come back and pick them up at the end of the week.
But isn't it a tribute that your son, Stephen,
You have no idea what it meant. Mm-hmm. When he came back from Vietnam there, he was, well, I don't know, it was just something that happened that I never thought would ever happen. And he said, I'm going to join you Monday morning. And that was 30, what is it now, 34?
35 years. Yeah.
Steve, how long have you apprenticed? He says 33 years so far.
Yes, yes.
It's been a while.
Wouldn't you say that he's the most patient person?
He's got the patience of God, because anybody that can work with me, and I'm the worst taskmaster, you cannot make a shortcut with me. It's got to be done one way, the best way you know how. I wanted to make a reel that worked, and I wasn't an engineer, so I was crazy. Oh, I'm just so happy you're here.
Isn't this wonderful?
It is.
What's easier, getting a Bogdan or getting a salmon? See what I mean?
Well, I know that I've got an in with the maker, and I can assure you that catching a fish out here is a lot harder
than getting a Bogdan. Well, I wish you tight lines.
I wish you, well, what's the way the song goes? When I was 35, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for city girls of independent means. They'd ride in limousines.
Their chauffeurs would drive
when I was 35.
When I was 35.
Dear Stan, the book on fly fishing in Iceland arrived just in time for my trip. Thank you so much. It'll make a cherished addition to my library. I want you to know how much I value our time together, and I can't help but get teary when it's time to go. I know we'll talk on the phone, but I'll miss our time together on the water. Looking forward to wetting a line again with you, my friend. Until then, Kathryn.
Bum bum ba-dum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And then he started on the second.